we talk about it all the time with our team, is that individual accolades come with team success. And, when you're near the top of the league or at the top of the league like we had been previously, your players are going to be recognized. And I look up and down our roster and go, the people that were recognized definitely deserved it. I mean, you look at our backcourt, and Kendale and Alec both had very good years. You start with Alec. He went from a player that was up and down, would have great games, and then just maybe not have as successful games as a junior, where he was kind of riding the roller coaster, to an unbelievably consistent year. And that's what we needed. When we, I don't ever talk with our players about who we lost. But when we graduated Andy, the Mazurchak, the thing that was going to be hard to replace was the night in, night out consistency. Yeah, he had great plays and great games, but it was the night in, night out consistency. And that's a role that Alec really stepped in, and he was definitely deserving of being a first-team all-conference player. Kendale, it's the splash plays. It's the, big steals, explosive plays to the rim, getting other players involved as the point guard. Those are the things that stand out and stick in other coaches' mind, and there wasn't much doubt in my mind that he was going to be elected to, not only the all-conference team, but the all-defensive team for those type of things. So those two guys definitely deserved it. The other two guys that were recognized, I was really happy for. I mean, Goran, just the light came on. He's so athletic. He's such a great kid, but you can see, people don't realize it's hard to change positions on the floor in basketball if you're a big man. And the first 2 years, he was just a center. And so we tried to ask him to guard people on the perimeter, and his sophomore, his second year with us, he wasn't very good at it. So we weren't allowed, we really couldn't play him on the perimeter. Well, this year he had the ability to go out, and he was a much better defender on the perimeter. He made so many big blocks and plays around the rim when it mattered. In the last 5 minutes of games, he would come up with a big block. And so, I think he's just scratching the surface. I really, we're hoping we can get him a full year next year, but even if he comes back for the one semester, his best basketball is definitely in front of him. And so we're excited about his return. And then Joe Borcia definitely deserved to be on the all-freshman team. And, the biggest thing, the hardest thing to do for a freshman is be consistent. And I think Joe was on the all-freshman team because he had various games where he was really good against enough opponents, and you look at him, and it's hard when you don't get big opportunities every night. We have Kyle, we had Goran playing the center, so Joe was in a situation some nights where he just wasn't going to get a lot of repetitions, and he did a very good job of handling that. I think he's in the same boat as Goran. I think he's just scratching the surface of how good he can be, and that's great to have a 6'10", player that's returning that's only going to be a sophomore who can get better. And so, everybody that was recognized deserved it. I look forward to who's going to be the guys that step up next year. I look at a Chip Flanagan who had a very consistent year, but can he take the next step? Can Espen, who came on at the end of the year, take the next step? Can Kyle Flanagan take the next step? Because that's why we've had consistent success, is players do step up from their freshman to sophomore year, or a big year is that growth year, is that second to third year. And I'm excited to see who makes, has a great offseason and becomes the next impact player for us.